Hello, my brothers and sisters. My name is Tim Heijen, and I'm a Dragon Witch, and I hope I can be of your assistance inside of this difficult, sometimes challenging, but very personal and very rewarding spiritual path of the dragon, where we stand in the shadow of the dragon. Did you know, my brothers and sisters, that dragons choose us? Did you know actually that dragons from far away, inside of a realm where we cannot reach, from far, far away, that dragons choose to be with us? Not just your dragon that is connected to you, but also other dragons that are surrounding you. There is much more to it than just your dragon eye, but also other dragons that can stand by your side. And you can eventually have a lot of dragons around you, a lot of dragons that choose to be with you. In the beginning of my path, I actually pushed the dragon away, afraid of what people were going to say if they find out that I was believing, not only believing, but following dragons. And everything that happened then, once I accepted the dragon, was pure dragon magic. Not just in a psychological, but physical as well. Everything that happens around me was just pure magic. Um, and it all started with simple voices in your head, my brothers and sisters. And most of the time, when people say there are voices in your head, you must be crazy. Well, in fact, my brothers and sisters, that is how dragons communicate with us. Dragons communicate not in a physical way because they are not here in a physical way. So they have to find a way how to communicate with us and why they can communicate with you. Because if you have voices in your head, and it can be that your dragon is trying to talk to you in a telepathic way, not in English, not in Dutch, but in a way that they have in their mind. Whenever they think of something, you will understand that, and vice versa. Whenever you think of something, they understand it. And that is how dragons communicate. Dragons communicate through um, they have a telepathic way of connection with you. And not only that, because there can only also be other dragons with you. And these are the dragons that choose you. And once they choose you and you accept them, that is a bond that will never ever go away. Because the bond that you already have with your dragon guardian is actually so strong that not even death can erase it. That is why you love dragons so much. Why do you love dragons so much? And how does it come that sometimes you can feel much more draconic? Because it's something is still with you of the dragon, an energy. And whenever your dragon is close, it will react to your dragon. And the closer that your dragon is, the more that you will love dragons. Maybe when your dragon wasn't able to be with you, that you lesser feel it, that you are, that your spirit is not reacting anything. The more that your dragon is close, the more that your spirit will react to it, and not only with your dragon by your side, but as you accept the dragon, you also accept other dragons with you. Of course, your dragon has to agree with this, but that is how dragons choose you. They choose to be by your side. Even your main guardian has chosen to move heaven and earth to be by your side. And once they are very close, you will feel that. You will feel that in your emotions, but you will also feel that in a more magical way. And when I see magic, that is for everyone different. The kind of magic that dragons release whenever they find the one that they have to find, whenever they found you, that kind of magic is not something that I can explain, but it's rewarding. That is the rewarding part of our spiritual path. It is not to gain something in this life, but it's much more to be together with them. And why do you love dragons so much? It is very simple, for the reason that you are not so different than them. You are a human being in this world, but that is just a cover. What is lying inside of you is that of the dragon, and that is something that you need to open up for your dragon as well. That is what your dragon is trying to do, try to awaken you. And in the beginning of my path, I actually tried to push the dragon away because I was afraid of what people were going to say once they discover I followed the dragon. But my dragon, and I could hear that in my head, that he was frustrated, and I was feeling bad because every time when I closed my eyes, I could see my dragon, and I loved him very much, but I was pushing him away. Even with this awakening, I was still pushing him away until the moment that I found some kind of a way to split me from my spirit, from the dragon spirit and my human body. I was living here empty, while my other half, the dragon's spirit, was actually seeing the dragon realms and all of the other gates. And whatever I saw then is something that I learned so much about, something that I want to share with you, my brothers and sisters. What I've seen in these 5 months, in the first 5 months of 2006, is something that I want to share with you. The things that I've seen that back then makes me not only believe in dragons, but makes me follow them, because they are not something lesser than godlike, you can say. If you are connected to dragons, that is how you call them, godlike, more like demigods, my brothers and sisters. And if you finally accept your dragon, it doesn't mean that this is the only dragon that should be by your side, because like I said, dragons choose you. If you have a pure heart, if you have for them, if you have a pure heart, and if you are actually perfect to work together, then these are the dragons that will eventually ask you also to be by your side, because you don't need to choose anything. Dragons choose us. Dragons choose you. And also dragons choose to be by your side, because it's not easy for dragons actually to come to us. Dragons has to make this decision of going through the void and moving heaven and earth to be by your side. Sometimes because of that, people might also call us, and I'm sorry for the name, but they sometimes call us dragon riders. And the first moment that I discovered that is the moment that I pushed my dragon away. And he was so frustrated, pushed me out of my body and put me on his back. And if I said this to people, I know how it sounds, but that is something that I want to share with you. He put me on his back because what are we now, my brothers and sisters? We are humans. We are now humans. We have a disability for the dragon. We no longer can fly. We don't have scales. We don't have horns. We are just hair and body. And so for the dragons will take you on their back so that you will see where you come from. And that is why sometimes people say to us that we are some kind of like dragon riders, where the dragon has to choose you and the dragon has to accept you. And once they did, you have an amazing, unbreakable bond that will never die. This bond with the dragon that will even death cannot erase, because you still love dragons. Have you ever wondered yourself why you love dragons so much? While if you have your dragon a physical way next to you, you would love to hug him or her. But if you put a dragon to random people, they would be afraid. They would be afraid because these dragons can eat them. But you know that your dragon will never do that, because your dragon has chosen you to be by their side, that you also be by their side. And if you have voices in your head, then sometimes you don't need to listen to people by saying that this is crazy. Sometimes you have to listen to the voices who are in your head, the voices who are talking to you. Like I said, not in English, not in Dutch, not in whatever, but in a more draconic kind of language. A draconic kind of language that you understand. That sometimes you need to trust the voices inside of your head. And sometimes you and I'm sorry actually for the name, a dragon rider. A dragon rider is actually someone with a dragon soul that has a large connection with another dragon that is by your side, that's willingly by your side. These dragon riders are in fact those who cannot go through portals, cannot see anything from other sides, and that is eventually what our dragons might do inside of dreams and visions, and even in your mind, that you can travel alongside with them so that you can understand who you actually and really are. So yeah, dragon riders are When I think of this name, most of the time I see movies about this, but it's nothing like that. When the dragon eventually has chosen you before you were even born, and all of the other dragons, of course, later on they can choose you as well, but your dragon has to agree with other dragons inside of your circle. But your dragon has chosen you before you were even born. And once you are chosen by the dragon, you are always going to be connected to them. And that is why I wanted to say this to the dragon, how much I trust them, because that is how trust is built. That is how you should go on your dragon's path, with 100% trust in your dragon. And with trust, I mean that you lie down vulnerable, that you are sure that your dragon will never hurt you or harm you, that your dragon is here to be by your side and to aid you, guide you through life, that you have to trust them completely. And that is what I'm asking you, my brothers and sisters. Give your dragon the 100% trust. How can you give your trust to them? Just simply by saying this to them. And if you mean it, they will understand it. Because that is how you can communicate with dragons as well. Through your mind. You have a telepathic way of connecting and also communicating with each other. And yeah, with as a human being, now you are much more vulnerable, but you are also seen as some kind of a dragon rider. You ride dragons, you trust them completely, and you ride them simply because. And why do they trust you? Because you have the same light as them. And what kind of a light that even your smell, everything about you is just connected to your dragon. But you still need to find it out. Because how you were born as a human, you might not know that. It's something that you need to remember and recall inside of yourself. And the longer that you are on your dragon's path, the more that you will understand who you truly are. My brothers and sisters,